Alright, got it jacked up, getting ready to pull the front end off, or at least going to pull the wheel off and go get it done. I'm going to put the tire and tube on it on the new rim. The rim I got's not really for this bike. It's for a Harley, but it's for an earlier model. So I'm going to have to space out the front wheel bearings. I got a box of spacers. We can get that lined up. It's a regular Temkin bearing instead of seal bearing, so I need to service the bearings on it before I actually put it on. Let me pull this front end off of here. The reason I'm doing it on the trailer is I have no way to get it off of there because that rim ain't gonna roll. That thing was kinked good. They when they loaded it from the salvage yard, they just put a big strap around the bike and carried it out with a front end loader and with big long forks on it and sat it down on the trailer, and we strapped it down, and that was it. I was lucky enough yesterday to go to went to a little local shop here and picked up a set of fork tubes, straight ones, used fork tubes, the front rim, drag pipes, a set of bars, a clutch perch, and a couple other little things with tube, fork seals, fork oil, all that jazz for $150 for everything. So I think I made out pretty good on that deal. Brand new drag pipes, and rim will work. I still got to true it before I put it on, but that's neither here nor there. Let me pull this front wheel off of here. out here, so I'm blowing snot bubbles. It's supposed to warm up. It's probably 30 something right now, but should warm up to almost 60 today. All right, whenever you get one that's hit that hard, you want to check the front axle to make sure it's still straight. Should be perfectly straight. I'll stick it in a truing stand later on and run a dial on it and make sure it's straight. It came out straight, and it rolls across the floor of the trailer there straight, but I still need to check it because that thing got smacked pretty damn hard. So you're going to want to check that. And before you take the tubes out, you want to loosen the caps up. Now you need to be careful of those caps when you're taking them out. I used to know a guy that had one eye because I don't know if he forgot to put a jack under the bike and get thrown it off the ground when he was taking the fork caps off, because they're under a lot of spring pressure, and the thing came off and smacked him in the face, broke his eye socket and lost his eye. And that was, I don't know, he did that I think in the 70s sometime, or early 80s, late 70s, something like that. But remember, those things are under a lot of spring pressure. So you got to have the front end jacked up off the ground, and even then it's still tight. And if they've been packed, like for sag, with spacers up on top of the springs, they'll really be tight. Unless you have adjustable spring cups on top. These don't, and I'm not spending the money to put them in there. It's just a street bike. You don't really need to be changing the preload on it. We'll set the preload when we go back together. I'll measure the preload on the forks, and we'll put 20 weight back in there instead of the 10, because 20 works better for these things. Changes the rebound and compression dampening. Long time ago, we used to take the damper tubes down in the bottom and weld them up and re-drilled the holes to change the damping on them until I think Progressive started making them sometime in the 80s or early 90s for the 883 racing series. And then Race Tech came along and made cartridge emulators, which our cartridge emulators are really good. It's got a bunch of little spring stack in the middle of it, which actually meters the oil. I don't know how much they cost nor, but they're worth it if you need something that handles better than stock, because face it, stock Harley spring rates and damping sucks for any kind of other than cushy ride. But that's neither here nor there. Let me get these caps loose. At this point, the fork caps are loose enough that I'm not going to take them off yet, but they're loose. You're going to want to knock while you got it in here, you're going to knock the cups up. Dust protectors, you're going to want to knock those up. And go ahead and take a 6mm Allen socket and feed it up through the bottom. And see if you can get those bolts loose. You don't need to take them off yet, just get them loose. It's easier to do it while it's in the bike while you got something to hold the force while you're trying to tighten. It takes a longer 6, not the little stubby one that you won't get it up in there to get to them. Now, if they don't come loose right away, you can take an impact and just give them a smack. wrench works. Or you can try and hold it with one hand there. I don't know if I'm going to be strong enough to do it like that. Yeah, that one's turning, smoothing the whole thing, but at least they're turning. Okay, that one actually made a little hiss there. But if you can't get them loose once they're out of there, take a hand impact with a long 6mm socket and give them a smack a couple of times. They'll usually come right loose. The left one's spinning in the damper tube, so I'll probably hit it with an impact when I take it out of there. The left one, or the right one, yeah, the right one actually loosened up. It's the left one that's really tight. It's spinning the whole damper tube, so it just needs a couple of smacks with a hammer. And it should come right out of there, but we're ready to take these things off. And I don't know if I'll get them rebuilt today, but I can at least get them disassembled to make sure my new tubes are going to work out and inspect the tubes. All right, let me take these off the rest of the way. All right, that's our fruit tubes off there. Took the engine guard off too. The left side bolt's broken on the engine guard up in the little nut plate that holds it on, so I have to fish that nut plate out of there and probably get another one for the front motor mount up top there. It's just a nut plate that sits on top of the frame, and the two front top motor mount bolts go through it. It smacked it pretty good. Big enough, good enough that it swung it around and bent the front exhaust pipe up against the cam cover. But it is what it is. Probably getting ready to go slap this tire on there. I needed the tire. The tire's still good. Need the tire for the new rim. Don't look like it hardly got any wear on it at all. So that's good. No tire. We were hoping to find a 19 to put back on there, but the guy didn't have any 19s or anything later model with a 3/4 inch axle with the seal bearings, so we just grabbed what we could just to get it rolling. All right, that's it for right now. You get this tire done.